When valuing a company, meaning you want to know what is its value, there are multiple options to do that and what is the best way of them. For example, you can look at the company earnings reported for the most recent annual report or the last 10 years annual reports. So let's say we take a look at the company's earning for the last year, the annual year. The problem with that is that if this annual year was a special year, like the COVID year, then we wouldn't get a good representation for the future. The other options are taking the last quarter earning and multiplying it by 4. Another option is to take the last 4 trailing quarters. And another option is to take the earnings of the year so far and then to add the expected earnings for the rest of the year. So as we said, the problem with the first method of taking the earnings of just 1 year is it's problematic because the year could be a very special year, like the COVID year. So this is something we probably do not want to do. The option of taking the last quarter and multiplying it by 4 is now we have even 2 problems. One problem is that the last quarter could be also a special quarter. And another problem would be that we are not taking into account seasonality, because the latest season or the latest quarter can be special. For example, the last quarter of the year, in most cases, is different from the other quarters of the year. The third option that we discussed is to take the last 4 trailing quarters. This is a better option than the first, which is the annual year, and the second, which is taking the latest quarter and multiplying it by 4, because here we take into account seasonality, and we are not looking at a specific year. We are looking at 4 trailing quarters, because we can take quarters from multiple years and we can mix and match them together. The latest option is to take the earnings so far. Let's say we are now at April 2022 and we take the earnings so far up until now, and then we get estimation for the rest of the year. This is good because we are trying to estimate for the future. And while this may not be that accurate, we could have, it's good because we have context. We are closer to the now, we are closer to the future. So this is even better because we are taking estimations of, let's say, experts, and these experts already have enough information. If we are at April 2022, then it's possible that we have enough information in order to estimate the revenues of the rest of the year. And this means that this option of taking the revenues up until now, the earnings up until now, and then estimating for the rest of the year is a pretty good option. Also, the last trailing 4 quarters is a pretty good option, but the option of taking the last annual year earnings and based on this is a bad option, or the option of taking the latest quarter and multiplying it by 4. Usually what we want to get a more actual prediction of the value of the company by either taking the earnings so far and then estimating what are going to be the earnings until the end of the year, or taking the last trailing, this is called TTM, last trailing quarters, 4 quarters, and using it as an estimation, because the last 4 quarters are taking into account seasonality, while the latest annual year is not really taking into account special years. And if we take the last quarter and multiply it by 4, then we do not take into account seasonality. So we want either to take the earnings so far and the expected earning in order to value a company, or the last 4 trailing quarters in order to value the company.